Hello everyone, excuse me, this is the recording for week 1. I just wanted to go over the late policy. I sent it to you in an email and it was also in the week 1 announcement. I just wanted to make sure everyone understands that you have a 7-day grace period that you can be late, but there will be a 20% late penalty. Any work turned in after the 7-day grace period will receive a 0. Discussions are not part of this because they're directly connected to your attendance records and therefore cannot be turned in late. So the late policy only applies to assignments. The Unit 1 discussion, the topic this week is what are some tips in writing effective formulas. It advises you to use real-world scenarios and incorporate them into responses, and use research to relate your response to the work environment. You need to post the initial response of at least 100 words to the discussion question due Wednesday by 11:59. Make sure you check your grammar and spelling. If you type it in Word, it will give you the word count. Also, it gives you the word count in the message box. Or you can use Grammarly if you want. Post a minimum of 3 responses to other learners in the course. That's due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Make sure you have at least one APA formatted reference in every single initial response. So, except I'm not sure about week 8. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of the APA formatting. For the ebook, you want author, date of publication, title, version, and then retrieved from URL. So I have put our book here, and the in-text citation for the book is author's last name, the year, and then if you have a direct quote, you should use the page number. Now, I don't know if your book is the same as mine, but it doesn't show the page numbers up here. But if you scroll down to the division between the 2 pages, you'll see the page numbers. A print book is author, date of publication, title, edition of other than the first edition, place of publication, which is city and state, and then the publisher. A web article with the author listed, you're to give the author's last name, same way here, first initial, middle initial. If it's just a screen name, you use just the screen name. And you don't abbreviate it, you just use the whole screen name. Date of publication, or ND if no date is given. The title, which is the page title. So for instance, on this particular tab I have, it says that on the different tabs, it will give you the page number or at the top of the page for the article, not the website name. So if you got an article from Microsoft, you would not use Microsoft as the title. You would use the title of that article. And then you want the date of publication. That means the date it was posted or updated on the website, not the copyright for the website that's down at the bottom. And then you would put the retrieved on date. And then from URL, if there's no author. If there is an author, you just put the retrieved on URL. Excuse me. If there's no author, you start with the title of the page and then the date. And when no date and author is given, that's when you have to give the retrieved on date. So that's the date that you actually saw the information. Excuse me. So the week 1 assignment is to create a personal budget. And it's due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. Now this is just an example. Although it's for the whole year, not just 6 months. You only need to do 6 months. And you're to do your income, whatever your income is, total the columns, then you get your expenses, and list those and total the column. Then the net value is going to be the income minus expenses. That for each month, that's your net value. And so here's an example. Please do not copy this. I want you to be unique. It's just an idea of how things can be, but you want to make sure that it's easy to read, that you know it's dollars, and that you format everything where it looks nice and separates things. So excuse me. After you've created that, then you're going to do a 3D pie chart for your net value, net results for 6 months. Now here it says monthly expenses, but it's actually the net value. Save the workbook with the file name, your name, week 1, assignment 1. Then you're going to go to part 2. You're going to create a new page, sheet. So you just right click on the sheet and name it part 2. You would of course have your budget, and then if you wanted to have your chart on a different page, you could, or you could have it on the same page. And then in part 2, you're going to analyze your results by answering the questions that it asks. Now that you looked over your results, did you neglect to include any income, and so forth. So you're going to answer all those, save the workbook, and submit the full workbook. And that's all for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. You'll find my contact information in faculty info.